A little bit nicer, Kyle, to come out of today as the winner of this third four-place match than obviously going home having lost 2 best-of-3s in a row.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of pride on the line for both of these teams here, but I think it really comes down to, looking at what we could potentially expect in the future from these teams as well, and knowing that for both of these rosters, it's definitely not over yet. They're going to come back, have their pro league to participate in, and also look to next year to come back even stronger.
Well, here we go. Super Valiant Gaming up against All Gamers. A consolation match, a best-of-3. Who's going to go home in third place with the $80,000?
Well, it's a big question indeed, isn't it? AG and Super Valiant. I would have to say the 2 best teams in China, at least based on what we've seen this tournament. And they're going to go head-to-head. The Chinese fans, at least, will have something to cheer about in this match. Quick early aggression up short there from All Gamers. TMQ, LSN getting themselves a double kill apiece. And it's N9 that is the sole survivor for Super Valiant. So a very fast start to Black Widow.
Now N9 creeps up behind, finds the double kill. Potentially a 1v3 to get this one started here. TMQ lurking in the shadows there under the catwalk, trying to get in relatively unnoticed, but the bomb is down and under the control of N9 right now. SV looking to him to grab the initial round here and get them on the board. TMQ, though, looking for the full rotation here, but it could be a head-to-head clash here at A-Long, and it may just be that N9 caught off guard, but still, he gets away with just 14 HP, running completely all the way around the map, back to the staircase, and TMQ goes for the wide swing, gets it, and that'll be the first round on the board for AG, but a great attempt there from N9.
Yeah, what a crazy first round that we see. I mean, the fact that AG is going to show that much aggression, that much pace early on in the game is perhaps a tell-all for how we're going to see them pan out in the rest of this half. Super Valiant, for their own right, relying on N9 to kind of salvage the situation there because it wasn't a great start. But N9, again, will find the opener this time for Super Valiant. And if he is a player that gets activated for Super Valiant, this is going to be a scary prospect indeed.
Could be, but Dalbacu, a player we've hoped to see step up here today, has been fairly quiet so far, especially in the semifinals, but we'll see if he can bring the heat now on the home turf duel. It's going to be Emzen looking for the pick A-Long. ZQ potentially to challenge here. Actually sneaks across. Doesn't actually go down right away. But N9, he's there to put a stop to it. ZQ down. It's going to be a 5-on-3. The remaining players now trying to work their way up short.
Bean being one of them. Bean obviously a player that we've talked extensively about at this tournament. We'll have to have a big game here against Super Valiant. Hope to shut down Emzen in those sniper duels. And interestingly enough, it will be Emzen that might take the challenge here. The A-bomb site. TMQ creeps his way through mid, and Yazi will fall, but a good trade, good swing from WQ will make short work of him. Bean, however, does get the better of Emzen. So 2v3, definitely doable here for All Gamers.
Bean working his way around here. He's going to sit very comfortably behind the train, but it doesn't matter. WQ sneaks out, grabs both frags. That'll be a big round from him, finding 3 overall and a quick tie.
True to his name. Aggression again, this time from Super Valiant. And 9 right up mid, and that's going to catch LSN. Oh, not only him, but TMQ and ZQ both fall as well. Great spray down from N9. And that might well be a round on the board very quickly for Super Valiant because they have just decimated All Gamers.
Bean tries to wrap around behind. Won't find anything out of that. WQ able to put an end to the round here. A few frags picked up by AG in the process, but it's not going to be enough to get the job done there. Now SV quickly, 2 fast rounds, swing back into the lead here as they take it 2-1. ZQ and TMQ looking for the initial pick here with LSN, putting a lot of pressure onto Emzen and N9. N9 goes down immediately here on short. It's going to be Yazi trying to hold on. It's not going to matter. LSN, quick one-tap, takes him down as well.
Definitely get a different sense out of this matchup than some previous when we've got 2 Chinese teams playing against each other. There really does seem to be no holds barred. Emzen for the moment trying to work his way toward the A bomb site, but very large amount of angles that he needs to check. Bean cops a leg shot there. Emzen, however, will fall for his troubles. Now it leaves Formy on his own as WQ will also fall, and this is an unwinnable situation, a 1v5, just not going to be happening. But do you kind of get that sense? Do you sort of feel as though this game is playing out a little bit differently than some of the ones we've watched throughout this tournament so far?
I think so. I think part of it's just coming off of the loss from both ends. Teams are going to take a little bit more time to get into it. But on top of that, when both teams know each other inside and out, it almost becomes a bit more deathmatchy, as you can see in mid. It's going to be LSN and TMQ starting things off right for AG. 2 kills already on the board. LSN sitting at 5 and 3. TMQ with 6 kills as well. N9, though, eager to the challenge, gets the grenade kill here over towards A Long and the double at that as he takes down ZY. Formy finds one onto LSN, and just like that, they have something to work with here now, but N9 is going to be caught by a nade himself here. TMQ trades it out.
Has done enough, though, to buy the time for the rotation of Formy, who's holding by the window. And AG do have a degree of control of the site, but they don't have enough that they're going to be able to get an easy bomb plant here until they force Formy back, and indeed he has fallen back. But AG, as of yet, unaware of that. ZQ still needs to peek the window, waiting for any aggression from Formy, which is not going to come. So we find ourselves in a bit of an eye of the storm moment.
Formy in a great position to stall this plant out. ZQ, he will go for it, but Formy, he has a chance to stop it. Misses the jump shot, though. ZQ now just has to hold on, and he knows exactly where these players are coming from. TMQ finds the first, and it's all on Formy here, stuck in the A window. The flash comes through. ZQ tries to go for it, and he will connect on the shots there through the box. Another nice round for AG, just looking a little bit stronger in this one so far.
A little bit, but not by a lot. Super Valiant in the last couple of rounds have showed a tendency to aggress mid early on in the round, and I think AG has adapted to that pretty well. So change up here from Super Valiant as they put the numbers toward long instead, and it's worked out better for them as far as I'm concerned in the fact that Super Valiant this round haven't actually lost a player in the first 15 seconds of the round, so that's always nice.
Now the rotation comes through. It is going to be AG picking up the bomb and working their way now towards the B bomb site. TMQ leading the charge on this one. ZQ quickly here for the support as well. It's going to be a 4-man stack, leaving just one player towards their spawn. It is going to be Bean holding up the back line here on any potential flank. Formy going to be in a key position here, has to step up to try and stall this one out. It's not going to happen, though. LSN opens up with a huge double kill, make it a triple kill. It's all over here on the B bomb site. Emzen tries to be a glimpse of hope for his team, but it's just not going to happen. LSN picks up the quad kill on the round, and TMQ closes this one out.
And again, the same trend continues. This time, N9. I feel a sense of deja vu, but that's very quickly ripped away by TMQ as he will shut down that pipe dream. N9 again looking for the triple, but won't be able to get it this time. Nonetheless, a degree of mid-control has been established here by Super Valiant, and WQ has pushed out from the B side. He gets behind ZQ and TMQ. And there's a double kill again for WQ. And you have to wonder, how does he do it every single time?
Bean and ZY now left in a tough position here. It's 2-on-4. They have to try and work their way back around to one of these bomb sites, but we do have ZY here sneaking through the B bomb site, potentially to try and flank one of these players who's taken control of the blacklist spawn. Emzen here just sitting in waiting. ZY, though, taken down. WQ picks up the third on the round for himself. And it's now just on Bean here, finds one onto Emzen. The bomb still stuck in a very difficult position. Formy spots him, trying to work for it. Bean, though, he's isolated in this corner, surely no way out, and Formy finishes it off.
Quite equalized just yet for Super Valiant, so a little bit more work to be done on this defensive side. Again, more presence toward long, but that does leave B a little undefended, a little weaker. Very quickly, you do see that rotate coming across for Super Valiant.
A lot of pressure here over towards the B box room. Formy just playing the initial pick position, finds the first. LSN, though, trades out with TMQ, and once again, AG looking primed for the taking of this B bomb site. It's going to be ZQ with a big headshot there around the corner onto Dabaku. Emzen finally able to get one out of it, but it could be too late here. Emzen and N9 looking for the 2v3 retake.
Well, these are two of the best players on the Super Valiant roster, maybe two of the best players in the world, and they have a lot of experience between each other and together as well on the team. So maybe there's a world where Emzen and N9 can swindle something here. A bit of a push in through mid is what they're going to have to go for. They don't have time to be rotating across. N9 continues to peek, sends Emzen in first, who hits a nice shot onto LSN, but he's going to have to do it himself now, as it's ZQ and TMQ to try and hold, and they will indeed do such. AG find themselves another round, and Super Valiant maybe starting to grasp at straws a little bit in this first half.
Yazi surprisingly at 0 frags on the table as well as we go into this last round. Not quite the performance we'd come to expect from him. If he could step it up, this could be potentially a much closer game here for Super Valiant. Meanwhile, on on AG's side here, you've got 2 players already above 10 frags, doing a lot of work for their team here. N9 once again creeping up in mid, though. He's going to be pushing up short this time around, and LSN and TMQ are left to hunt him down.
N9 loves to play from these kinds of positions, doesn't he? Waiting for all gamers to push in his direction, but pops a bullet himself to the head. It's mission successful to start things off for AG. They have the numbers advantage. Now what do they do with it?
AG going for the full rotation here. It looks like they will take the challenge here over towards the B bomb side. It's only going to be Formy directly defending this position, so he needs to be cautious and ready to step up and make a big play for his team. TMQ, though, has been quite the entry fragger for all gamers today, doing a lot of work in the semifinals and definitely here now in this match as well. ZQ gets the quick shots there onto Formy. Yazi has to fall into position. He's immediately taken down as well, and things are just surely falling apart here as LSN pushes his way through mid to take down Dabaku on the trade frag. Emzen now left alone, and it's not going to matter. LSN takes him down as both him and TMQ now sit at 12 frags at the half and a 6-3-1 for all gamers.
Yeah, looking a little worrisome here for Super Valiant, but we'll see how things go after this. As you say, a 6-3 first half for all gamers, and you do get the sense that that probably isn't enough for Super Valiant here. As they'll move over to the attacking side, that will favour them just a little bit, but I don't know that it'll favour them enough. LSN and Bean immediately go for the double sniper setup as well, so that is a little bit of something that Super Valiant is going to have to figure out pretty quickly.
SV grouped up very quickly here outside of B, but the execution has slowed down quite a bit. Some utility being thrown down, Bean locking down mid, but it's all going to be on LSN and TMQ here on the B bomb site. They have to make the impact here. TMQ finds one, immediately traded down. It's going to be Yazi who finds another as LSN goes down without a fight. 3-on-4 now for the retake. Bean, ZQ, and ZY trying to make something happen, but look it on the flank. It's going to be ZY sneaking behind, and surely SV has no idea.
I think WQ might have heard him because he has turned around, and it will be WQ that does win that aim duel, and an important one. But it is still Bean and ZQ, and only now is the bomb plant going down for all gamers, which means time is there for the all gamers, guys. Bean creeps his way into connector, now loses his teammate. Will have to do it himself. WQ, of course, knows where he is, so a grenade will be thrown in his direction. But for Bean, it just seems like there's way too many angles to check here, and Super Valiant not really giving him anything either. So that's not a bad start at all for Super Valiant. Bringing it back to 4-6, but still a few more mountains to climb before they're able to overcome all gamers and start looking at winning this map.
SV, though, needs to be happy that Yazi is finally on the board here. That was actually his first frag of the entire match so far here. So it's great to see him finally coming to life, and that could be exactly what they need to fight their way back here and take control of this match. AG, though, still in a comfortable lead. It's going to be only one sniper in this round as LSN will decide to go back to the AK here on this one. Play a little bit closer angle over here on the B bomb site. Meanwhile, TMQ, he's going to be hunting for the initial frag here. Emzen and Formy, both very eager to go for this challenge.
A little bit of an off angle for TMQ if he continues to hold there, but he's actually going to flash himself in for a little bit more information. Super Valiant do not decide to push. No counter utility comes out from them, and they're being very patient right now on the attacking side here. Just deciding to back away. Good news for all gamers is they have a player very deep on long, so if Super Valiant do end up going in that direction and the rotation is called from all gamers, it will at least be an early call.
ZY in the key position here, takes down N9. A big headshot to start this one off. Yazi goes in for the trade. Wow. It's 2 kills. Make it a triple kill. Gets the quad kill. Somehow ZY walks away with all 4 frags there on A-Long, and a huge round for AG.
Well, stuff the rotation. You don't need that if ZY is going to find all 4 kills anyway. That makes the job much easier for all gamers and really puts it back to square one for Super Valiant. What's the answer here from them? Is it going to be a quick play? It does look like they were going to go for it, but in the end, Super Valiant do slow down on long. They still have a player set up on the other side of the map as well. So jury's out here. More of a default setup than anything else.
AG, though, set up for the mid pinch here. They've got a player pushed up short, as well as TMQ playing in the B connector here, waiting to cause some havoc on a potential play over towards mid. But meanwhile, we do have all of SV starting to group up towards this A-Long execution. Emzen already clearing and getting control of A-Long. Now it's on to ZQ to stall with this flash peek.
Bean holding the angle with the Orm as well. He's going to have a big job to do. It's a great flash, as you say, has completely stalled Super Valiant. And that gives Bean a couple of extra opportunities, none of which he's taking advantage of. ZY is the one to do the initial damage for all gamers, but they just haven't really done enough there, have they? Super Valiant have waltzed their way into the A bomb site, and that looked way too clean.
LSN on the flank, looking to try and make something out of this round, but it's not going to happen. Emzen shuts him down very quickly, but it seemed like the only good thing going for AG in that round was the initial flash. Nothing to follow up with it.
Yeah, I mean, Bean missed a couple of shots. Okay, that's fair. Sometimes that happens, but no one else finding a frag there for all gamers, and Super Valiant just barreled their way into that bomb site. So that was kind of like the Super Valiant of old. You just wonder, how have they done that? Bit of a head scratcher for all gamers, but obviously they have the rounds to play with, so it'll be okay.
You can tell they weren't too happy about that previous round as well. Now stacking a 4-man setup here on the A bomb site. They want SV to have no opportunity to sneak their way in here. TMQ playing a very aggressive angle on the A ramp, waiting to see if he can potentially even challenge Emzen here on long. That could prove to be quite fatal, though. Trying to challenge an Om at this long of range with an AK in your hands might not be the best decision. So he decides to play just on the top of the ramp, but not quite far enough to be seen by Emzen in his positioning. But Emzen, he's actually fallen back here as well, and it's going to be a full rotation over towards B, where it's really only LSN playing quite aggressive with this Om in his hands.
That said, we've seen the damage that an individual player for all gamers can do. If Super Valiant are caught resting on their laurels, and the benefit for LSN is that he's playing a very aggressive angle. He takes that first shot, backs away, finds another opportunity, and that really slows down Super Valiant enough for the rotation here for all gamers. So that's perfectly played by LSN.
And now you can see SV not really sure where they want to go on this one. Now the bomb still sitting outside of the B box room, but the rest of the team starting to rotate up towards short. They have 2 players now in that position as well, and SV very divided on how they'd like to approach this execution. It could be a potential fake over towards short with the bomb still working its way in, but Bean is going to find one onto Emzen. LSN looking for the pick as well over here towards B. Almost gets the shot before me, answers back, takes him down, but it doesn't matter. ZY and ZQ both swoop in and find frags for themselves. Formy now left alone in a 1-on-3, and it's just not going to happen. ZY shuts it down, and it's going to be 8 rounds on the board for AG.
A good round as well for AG, as you find a couple of snipers working out quite nicely, and that's something that they can put in the back pocket. They can shell for a little bit if they want, or they can continue to use, and it will keep Super Valiant guessing. In this round, just the single sniper for Bean. But really, it doesn't seem like it matters too much what all gamers are running. Super Valiant struggling to get through these rounds regardless. This time with some presence towards short. Maybe a faster play into the A site will work.
Here it comes. It's going to be 3 players quickly pushing up catwalk here. Bean in position to shut it down, finds the opener here. It's going to be ZY trading through with another as WQ takes him down. 4-on-3 now. AG, they just need to hold on. Formy tries to make a presence through the double doors in mid. It's not going to happen. Ellison and TMQ shut things down here, but it's WQ all alone in the 1v3 to cause some havoc. But not too much there. ZQ shuts it down, and just like that, it's already 9-5 here for all gamers, looking very primed to take this first map.
Certainly has felt like this map has just gone past in the blink of an eye. We've seen some very, very fast rounds, that's for sure. And 10-5 wouldn't be the closest of scorelines either. So Super Valiant, real work to do to salvage this one, but I'm not sure that it's going to be doable. Bean peeking the mid doors. We'll spot out at least one of those Super Valiant players.
SV, though, pretty keen on working this B-bomb site once again. It's going to be LSN holding the initial peak here. See if he can find a way into some entry frags here. TMQ on site with him as well. Super Valiant, they need something big here to bring this one back. 4 straight rounds just to force the overtime situation here. And 9, 0-5 though, again having some struggles today. As we saw earlier in the semifinal, he was having quite a hard time getting frags on the table, but SV, they're gonna force it in nonetheless here. It's going to be a complete smokescreen. Actually, they have no idea where AG's playing at right now. Bean and LSN get the initial trade as Emzin finds one, and 9 tries to sneak through the window, but it's not gonna matter. Bean and ZQ clean this one up, and it's a 10-5 map for AG.
Welcome back to the desk here at CFS 2019. We're live from Shanghai. We've qualified our 2 teams through to tomorrow's best of 5 grand final. But for now, our 2 runner-up teams from our semis today, they're going head-to-head. And right now, all gamers are all over SV.
Yeah, definitely. I really felt like the pace of that game was increased. I don't know whether it's just because there's 2 Chinese teams playing or both the teams have already played a best of 3 today and they sort of want to get things rolling a little bit quicker. But I do suspect it's kind of what Kyle touched on, where these teams are so familiar with each other. They've played against each other such a long time. And I think the meta in China, like domestically within China, does seem to favor these kinds of quicker plays. So they're kind of just going at it, bull at a gate, essentially, with people like N9 running down mid, and AG seems to be quite prepared for it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how things are for Super Valiant mentality-wise, but it really does seem as though AG have got them a little bit beat in that department.
Yeah, it's certainly probably a different looking game to what we would have seen if this had been, if they were playing the grand final right now. The context is different, the money's different. Obviously, coming off a defeat, Kyle, is both these teams having been defeated today, and for me, Super Valiant coming straight out of losing, heartbreaking for them, and then straight back onto the stage. We talk about the mental game, it can be tough.
It really can, and I think that may be part of it here. Super Valiant just not having that time to mentally reset fully the way they may have wanted to. But on top of that, I mean, you had Yazi, 0 frags in the first half. You can't really expect much performance when one of your players just isn't able to put in the right work.
Yeah, 0 and 8 at one point, I think, as well. So Definitely less than ideal Elfish guy, but we'll see how they go.
Well, there's got to be a lot of weight on his shoulders, doesn't there? Because he is the newer player in this roster. You know, we've seen Formy around a lot. We've obviously got the core roster of Emzen, WQ, and N9 that have won championships together. And you feel like, as this guy, you come into the roster and then, you know, you're not even making it to the grand final. So I would say that he individually feels a little bit responsible, even whether or not that is the case, whether or not it is him
tough,
as
right?
an individual that's made the difference. But it does feel as though it's been something that he's going to have trouble getting over, as you can see with the results from that game.
Yeah, tough day for both of these teams, but all gamers now 1-0 up against Super Valiant Gaming, our consolation match here at CFS 2019, and we'll be back with more right after this break.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
The whole match went as planned. The adjustment we gonna make is that we try to not overpeak as much as we did this time. It was the first match, so mistakes can happen, but we make sure that this will not happen against BD.
第3个，
直接安放C4。
非常聪明，直接安放 C4。但是
哎呦，这一
绿
枪
豆是真的状态好啊，现
这
在。
第2枪甩的。
我们今天队伍发挥的不是太理想吧，因为有的东西自己没有打好。接下来要打804，我们要尽可能调整好我们所有人最好的状态。
直接被直接3杀。
因为我们现在是小组第1出现了嘛，然后小组第2要去看白沙跟埃及的比赛吧。
扳回了1分
，9比6。
9比6。马哲绕后，碧莲不管，直接抽中路，屁股中路4个背身，雅哲正面刷屏，漂亮！一个背身稳住马哲，进来2个，
全是人，
再换手枪，
再拖，
漂亮！
哇，这一波配合真的是非常的精细啊
！4个人过来清，有发现窗口的位置，卢卡马又撤退了，
要抓他，道具已经给上了，卢卡马。
Eu me senti que ia ser jogo difícil, mas que eu confio muito no meu time e sabia que se a gente jogasse 100% do que a gente joga, a gente conseguia sair com a vitória. Na minha opinião, é o grupo mais difícil que rolou no CFS. A gente sabia que seriam jogos bem difíceis e eu creio que passa o nosso time e o da Super Valiant, que é a SV que a gente acabou de ganhar.
No！ 来了，这个造型已经摆了很久了。看维安娜这一枪，
直接狙掉，漂亮！干闪神 AD 再换1个2个，哇！这组破射直接3个爆手，
先给他道具，
拉回来了，被发现了。近点又吃了1枪手枪。
Nós entramos muito perdido nos jogos, mas conseguimos nos reencontrar no meio da partida. Nós vamos preparar o psicológico, conversar entre a gente para que tudo dê certo.
Welcome back to the desk. It is Super Valiant Gaming up against All Gamers. We're live from Shanghai in China for the CFS 2019 Grand Finals. Unfortunately, for these two teams, they've now been knocked out of the tournament. They cannot make it through to tomorrow's Grand Final. That is reserved for Brazilian teams only, Jordan. But today, we do get to see these two teams go head-to-head now on Compound. And you know how much I'm a Compound hype train kind of guy, Jordan. So,
I mean, you wouldn't stop talking about it during the break. So
yeah, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to see two of the best teams in the world go head-to-head on Compound.
Certainly two of the best teams in China. The question is whether or not they're the best teams in the world. If they were, they might have made it through to the Grand Finals, Ben.
Maybe they would have made it through to the semi-finals, which they did, Jordan.
Maybe. Either way, the question is how well are they going to perform on Compound? How much time have they put into Compound? Because we know it is a big question mark, being a new map or a newer map. The fact that they both let it through is kind of a little bit surprising to me, but I guess Super Valiant wouldn't have been too keen to get onto Ankara. We've seen good stuff from All Gamers on that. That said, I don't know, the jury's out, I suppose. I don't think, actually seen either of these teams play Compound, and I'm just having a look, and no, we haven't. We've not seen either of these two teams play Compound at all this event, so this will be a first.
Carl, obviously, it's a little bit more familiar in China, the map, but very little in the West. Would these two teams played it before competitively? Obviously not here at CFS 2019. Would we have seen it earlier, or?
It's occasionally popped up in the past, but it's definitely still new compared to the other 4 maps in the pool of these teams.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see how they go. Don't seem particularly worried about this, to be perfectly honest. I think it's more of a show match at this point, something to thank their fans and, you know, that sort of thing, I suspect. Because
but also $40,000.
Also, yeah, some cash would also be nice. I suspect these guys make a fair bit as well from CFPL, and obviously being champions of Cross 5 Stars 2 years in a row doesn't go too poorly for you either. But let's get into the game. Map number 2, we head to Compound.
Well, the last hope for Super Valiant now is that they're going to pick up the map of Compound. Otherwise, they will continue their decline. 2 years ago, they won. Last year, they came 3rd. And what is going to be the case for them this year? Right now, writing on the wall says 4th place.
Starting off this round 2, you had SV going for a full push outside of A. Well, AG just sent all of their numbers quickly towards B, but they've actually reverted back a little bit to go for some mid-control here, and this is where we saw on the few times we did see Compound in the group stage, mid-control is one of the most important factors on this map for both teams, isolating players and getting those initial entries, but more importantly, having that mid-sniper presence can cause a lot of havoc for the enemy teams here, so definitely like the setup so far coming out from SV. They've got 2 players very forward and aggressive here in their positioning over towards the A-bomb site, but AG continuing to apply pressure here over towards Yazi's position, but he does now have the benefit that WQ has rotated in behind him.
Bean starting to push forward alongside LSN, so All Gamers definitely are looking for those entries, and they might very well get them. LSN collects Yazi, WQ will fall as well to Bean, and that is perfect from All Gamers. Puts them in a great position here now. 3 versus 5 until Emzen answers back for Super Valiant, but then he himself gets traded down. So All Gamers methodically working their way through the map on toward the B bomb side and leaving only N9 alive. Very similar situation to what we saw at the start of Black Widow. N9 with it all to do in a 1v3. He's going to catch LSN, but a good trade from ZQ will finish things off pretty easily, and All Gamers continuing with their good form onto Compound.
It almost feels like SV's mentally checked out of this one here, but All Gamers, they have come to win here in this 3rd place match. They've not given up their hopes of having a good match today just yet. And so far it's shown here in this 3rd place matchup. So far it is going to be LSN running into trouble, but WQ goes down. Yazi comes through with the double kill trade, but ZQ quickly there with the answer as it's now evened up to a 3v3.
And 9 continues to peek, trying to look for some information, but won't get too much. All Gamers have well and truly rotated out and now setting their sights on mid. perhaps even beyond as they'll continue forward to the ace site. But I think there is a fair bit here on the line for all gamers. I mean, for Super Valiant, you know, they've been there, done that in a sense. But all gamers, they haven't actually had the greatest of runs when it's come to CFS. So for them, a third place here, I think that actually is a pretty respectable result, a very good result as well. So there's something to aspire to, at least, for all gamers.
And all gamers, they're going to be creeping their way towards A here. Emzen, though, playing very carefully, looking at the ground to not give up too much information, but he's already been spotted here. But it's actually Formy who rotates in, finds himself with a nice frag. Emzen jumps right in there and gets a big double kill. Somehow SV just crank it on right when it matters there on the hold.
That is definitely an Emzen play if I've ever seen one. So, all gamers will cop their first loss of Compound, but it's not the end of the world. Still very early days here on our second map, and they do have the map advantage as well after picking up Black Widow 10-5. This time a 3 stack toward the A-bomb site from Super Valiant. So they're changing things up as well on the defense, which is keeping all gamers thinking. That's nice to see. Mid control starting to be established though by all gamers.
Bean looking for the initial pick here through mid. We'll see if he can find it. Dabaku playing very carefully, though, not to give out too much information just yet. If he makes the mistake of peeking, though, this could be a nice opening here for AG. Bean, though, wants to creep his way even further here over towards the A-bomb site. Emzen's been spotted, and AG there ready to collapse in on his positioning. He has to be careful, but he's immediately taken down there by Bean, and now they have full control over the A-bomb side as they take down Dabaku. Formy just left on the back of site here to try and hold on for the retake.
Bit of work to be done, isn't there? But still 3 players from Super Valiant, which means they can establish a crossfire. Yazi will catch the side of TMQ, and that's a good sign. ZQ being spotted out as well. Now there's a chance for Super Valiant as Yazi is found 2. Formy also doubling down for himself. And can they pull off the impossible? The 3 versus 5 against all games certainly seems like it now, with LSN on his own. And all gamers getting just a little bit lax, perhaps a little bit too over-eager to finish that round off, as Super Valiant will punish them for that.
Great rotation coming in there from Yazi, able to start off that 2-on-5. Very clean in their favor as they work their way in very methodically. It's going to be all gamers now going for the quick play over towards A long, sending 3 players out here to challenge N9 in this position. Could be enough to get the job done, but they actually don't want to take the fight here. They're going to back off and go for mid-control. Meanwhile, SV, though, doing a great job of establishing full map control. 2 players playing a bit forward on B. We've got 2 pushed out of A as well. Just a safe passive hold from Dabaku in the back of mid, but all gamers, they're going to be going for the tower control now, looking for that positioning over towards Dabaku. It's going to be a nice utility fake, and it looks like they may fall back here once again and try and reset.
Well, they do still have plenty of time in the round. At the moment, Super Valiant are not offering a whole lot on the defense in terms of what they're actually doing. They're not playing too proactively. Rather waiting to see what all gamers are doing and then reacting based off of that. The defense has been solid so far here on Compound. All gamers grouping up toward B. Or if they're second-guessing themselves, though, as they have just floated another player back towards middle. So there's still a fair bit to consider right now for all gamers.
AG sending TMQ to creep up mid. The rest of his team working their way quickly over towards the B-bomb site here. It's going to be on Yazi once again to try and step up for his team and hold off the push here. It's going to be very cautious to try and bait them in. Potentially set up the trade here with Dabaku. I like the repositioning coming out from Yazi, but they have to be careful. Dabaku finds one. It's going to be AG, though, trying to force their way in, but Yazi gets the double kill, and a big shutdown play coming out from him.
TMQ and ZQ to try and salvage it for all gamers. But Emzen probably has this one on lockdown. Will actually miss the shot. Regardless, though, 1v4, 24 seconds here for TMQ. Doesn't have control of the C4. In fact, probably can't even get control of the C4 in the amount of time that he has left. I think this round is well and truly done. And again, not a bad defensive setup from Super Valiant, just making sure they're
reacting well to what all gamers are doing, and this is starting to get a little bit intimidating. All gamers might try to throw a spanner in the works in the next 1 or 2 rounds here, just to try and break the status quo a little bit, because it does sort of feel like we've eased ourselves into a bit of an equilibrium now where Super Valiant have figured things out and all gamers are dry running the same thing over and over and over again, and Super Valiant are quite prepared to deal with it. So I think it's time for all gamers to just change things up a little bit here, either now or in the next round, before things get too far out of hand. That said, Super Valiant are the ones that have changed things up. They've gone aggressively into mid, and that'll net them 3 kills. All gamers a little bit shell-shocked after that, I'm sure.
TMQ finally with the response there, gets one on the board. Dabaku, though, sneaks out of B-Long, gets the trade frag. LSN now left alone in a 1-on-3 situation. N9 quickly here to punish. Just like that, SV remain on top, and this is a much different SV from what we saw in map number 1, maybe finally regrouping and showing us what they have still.
Yeah, it's much better to see. This is the Super Valiant of old, the confident, powerful Super Valiant that goes on multiple years in a row to win CFS. Not this year, of course. Their best possible placing will be a 3rd place in this match, but either way, it's nice to reminisce, a bit of nostalgia, and I'm sure for the individuals as well. But all gamers, I get the sense, are not done yet. You know, this is still meaning quite a bit to them. It won't be the end of all gamers just yet.
As we saw on the group stage, this map did tend to favor the defensive half quite a bit, so that could be a factor here as well. Just SV playing their cards right and having a solid defensive half. But AG, they are creeping in very quickly towards this A bomb site. Emzen, not a whole lot of support here as well, and they have a lot of ground behind him now as well. The smoke screen comes through. Emzen finds one somehow before going down, but it's still Bean there quickly to trade. But N9 has found a way in here. Bean going to be challenged, but he actually gets the turnaround pistol kill. That's not one you can afford to lose, N9. And now it's going to be a 4-on-3 as the bomb has been planted. And now 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, definitely not a great one there for N9. It's been a rougher tournament, this one, than we've seen from him in previous years. Still, the C4's down on the floor, and SV only seem to now be aware of that as they start to make their way forward and look for the defuse, but they're just losing players all over the place, and WQ, even if he does win this clutch, doesn't have the time to defuse the bomb. So that'll be one more for all gamers, nicely executed into the A bomb side, and just making sure that they're able to deal with Super Valiant, keep themselves in the running here, and find as many rounds on the attack as they can, just to make life a little easier on the defense, as you say. Has lent a little bit more towards the defense rather than the attack here on Compound at CFS 2019.
All gamers now trying to work their way very aggressively here over towards B. But as we've seen so far, it's been Yazi leading the charge here on this B bomb site. Hold doing a lot of work, 7 frags in the half so far, and most of those coming from holding on to this B bomb site positioning here. Dabaku and Emzen here for the support as well. But somehow Bean has snuck his way into this position, but Dabaku, he catches on to it just in time, takes him down, and it's an early 5-on-4 here for SV.
This is a fairly forward hold from Super Valiant, and now you get the sense that things are changing a little bit, shifting a little bit in the mentality of Super Valiant. Rather than being reactive, they want to start becoming proactive and start taking those fights against all gamers, and they are, as a general rule so far on Compound, working out in the favor of Super Valiant.
LSN trying to creep up here, though, and find some information. ZY, though, also getting aggressive here in mid, trying to poke his way into some potential map control here for his team. N9, though, and Emzen both very aware there could be somebody on the other side of this smoke here. Emzen creeps into position, but unfortunately for ZY, not able to connect the headshot there.
Fair bit of time, though, for all gamers, but they need to ensure that they whittle down these numbers before trying to get the bomb plant. The position well and truly known here by Super Valiant. All gamers have been making a lot of noise, and you can just see the setup for Super Valiant looks perfect to deal with what all gamers have got going on right now. Emzen on the bomb site, ducks down behind the wall, baits for N9, who will not disappoint, gets 3, and that is a very nice defense from Super Valiant. Great bait and switch from Emzen and N9.
I don't know what they talked about during that map 1 break, but it's definitely paid off here. It looks like a reinvigorated SV that we're seeing so far on Compound. Everybody stepping up to the plate and just performing extraordinarily so far. But it's still not over just yet. AG, if they can pick up the final 2 rounds here of the half, they still should be feeling pretty confident going into that second half, knowing the defensive side here does have a lot of advantages on positioning.
A big bias towards the defensive side on compound. Nonetheless, though, that is not the case just yet for all gamers. I don't know that 2 rounds is going to be enough. 3, I think, is probably a pass score. But obviously against a team like Super Valiant, you kind of want to be getting as many as you can, making your life as easy as possible. Not only that, keeping Super Valiant from kind of falling into that momentum that can be so dangerous. Good control, definitely there for all gamers in this round, so they've got the options as to A or B. But now it seems Bean is just looking for a pick with the Orm. Won't find it just yet. Emson not presenting himself.
DY and ZQ, though, trying to sneak in here. Emson spots them on the cross. It's all about the duel here on the A-bomb site. TMQ gets the opener for me. Still alive, finds one. Has to hold on here, but it's not going to be enough. Oh. It's going to be N9, though, sneaking his way in onto the trade frag there. Takes down TMQ, N9, and Yazi here to try and close this one out. Both of them doing pretty much a lot of heavy lifting here in this half so far. Bean, though, such a cheeky position, but N9 somehow knows he's going to be there, takes him down with the Colt in hand, and somehow it's a 2v2.
And Nine's definitely been having a better half here than we've seen from him throughout CFS 2019, and starting to put the pressure on all gamers. Yazi will fall. And now just N9. Can he do it again? Can he find some of that former glory? You'd always back him in the 2v1s of yesteryear, but not this time, not against all gamers, who will secure their 3rd round for the half. 1 to play, and a 5-4, you'd have to say. Super Valiant probably haven't done enough on the defense there, if that does eventuate. It's a nice resurgence from all gamers.
SV, though, going for full aggression here over towards B, sending 3 players out immediately to try and contest this one here. It's going to be a trap set here as AG look to run right into it. ZQ going to be leading the charge with ZY here, but it's going to be a quick trade from LSN. Actually, the jumping headshot as he picks up the triple kill, taking down all of the B defenders. It's all on Emson now, has to force his way in and try and make something happen, but it just won't be enough. What a round there from all gamers. They make this a 5-4 half and keep the fight alive here on map number 2.
Five to 4. Not a lot between Super Valiant and All Gamers just yet on compound, but arguing for the fact that All Gamers did start on the attacking side. 4 doesn't look too bad against their name. Will Super Valiant slip another placing at CFS 2019? Would be a fun story for them, I'm sure. And it may be the last time that we see this Super Valiant roster together, if it were the case. But All Gamers still have a lot of work to do before we get to that kind of a discussion.
Would be a huge leap forward, though, for all gamers. I believe the last 4 years, they've been surpassed by the placings of Super Valiant, so seeing the resurgence for this organization and this team could be the motivation they need to come back next year even stronger. But SV still trying to show us that they've got the fight left to remain at least the 3rd best team here at CFS 2019. Bean, though, looking to be one of the difference makers here for all gamers. As they start things off, it is going to be a lot of pressure over towards the B-bomb site, but the rotation's already starting to come through from SV. They don't want to take this head-on into the B-bomb site. They are going to be moving forward to mid-control.
Just the single sniper this time for all gamers. Sometimes we have seen LSN picking that up as well. That won't be the case, at least early on in their defensive half. Maybe if things go a little bit awry in the first couple of rounds, there can be a curveball thrown by all gamers in that respect. Super Valiant. Just going backwards and forwards across the map. Playing musical chairs, it feels like. Not sure exactly where they want to sit down.
LSN here just jump spotting the cross here and hoping that somebody gives away the positioning here over towards B. But Super Valiant, they've played this quite well, holding their spots to the last minute. LSN just falls back as ZY gets the opener. LSN finds one, make it a double kill, looking for the triple, pulls out the Colt, but it's not going to matter. Yazi finally gets the trade, but he's held on just enough to do all the damage for all gamers. And it is going to be a 1-on-3 now. Yazi needing nothing short of a miracle here to win this one as ZY collapses into position. Yazi, though, finds another, but it's not going to be enough to get the job done here. Bean cleans things up, and all gamers are starting to bring this one back in their favor.
Yeah, that's a huge hold from LSN. That whole time that he was trying to fight that battle on the corner as the entry came in from Super Valiant. TMQ completely blind, as you could see when we swapped to his position. That's a nice start as well for all gamers, really getting the ball rolling here on the defensive side. Well, Bean gets another opportunity, but it's TMQ that will land the frag. And it's reminiscent of what Super Valiant did do in some of their defensive rounds with an aggressive push into mid from all gamers, netting themselves a couple of frags, now backing away. Now they know they have the advantage and they don't need to push for any more.
All gamers, though, taking a decent amount of damage here. TMQ, Bean, and ZY all around half HP, so still a winnable round if Formi or Dabaku can sneak their way and open up this round. Yazi looking to be the one to do it, though, here. Almost caught off guard by LSN's repositioning. It's going to be Yazi looking to go back into this one, though. He knows he needs to find some way to take the numbers a bit more even before they go in for this execution here. Formi coming in for the support, but Yazi on 18 HP has to be extremely careful here.
Someone's going to have to step up for Super Valiant to make the difference here. For me, looking for some damage, waiting for ZY to take the peak, and in the end just falls prey to his counterpart. LSN through the smoke. Does get caught by Dabaku, who's got a bit of a sixth sense tingling. It doesn't really help the situation too much for all gamers. That, however, will. Great shot from Dabaku. And if he starts to ramp up here for Super Valiant, could start to get scary. So plenty more to do, though. A 1-for-1 for Yazi, about as good as you can expect from him with low HP. And it leaves Dabaku in a 2v1, which is a winnable scenario, especially now. And he knows where ZQ is as well. Dabaku doesn't quite manage to land the shots. We'll just back away and go for the safe plant. We'll give time for ZQ to get close.
ZQ snuck in, though. He gets the shots there. Dabaku goes down. And it will be all gamers taking the lead into their hands now. And this is exactly what they were hoping for. 4 rounds away from taking away third place here at CFS 2019. And rightfully so. They've been well on track to make this happen. But SV, it's not over just yet. They still have some fight left in them. But we'll see if it's enough to get the job done.
Yeah, Dabaku not looking too impressed after that one. Did a lot of work in the round, but still wasn't able to pull the team through it. All gamers certainly as a unit, as a cohort, are looking better than Super Valiant. There are those moments of hope when Super Valiant individuals step up. TMQ this time looking to bolster things in mid, but only able to get a 1-for-1. Obviously a lot of information there, though, as he will spot quite a few players, and that allows the B players to prepare themselves nicely. All gamers 2 for 2 on the entry. Still will allow Super Valiant to get the bomb plant down here. So Emson and Formi try and claw back another round for Super Valiant.
ZQ and ZY, though, 2 players you don't really want to be up against in a 2v2 situation. We'll see if they can find their way in. Some nice flashes coming out over the top. ZQ and ZY sneak their way in through the doors. It's going to be all about the response here from Emson. Finds the first, but it's ZQ to quickly trade, hiding behind the edge of the smoke. He only has 12 seconds, though, to get this done. Has to peek quickly. ZQ spots him, but Formi hits the shots just a little bit quicker and will keep this one close as SV tie us up.
Formi was very low there. That could have well gone the way of all gamers. Nonetheless, equalizing 6 apiece. Super Valiant roll out for one more attempt. Bean's up to his usual tricks, looking in toward mid. Gets the help from TMQ there. Isn't really going to result in too much.
ZY, some early aggression here over towards A long, but nobody wants to challenge it just yet. Emson fairly close, but it is going to be the mid-control favored once again, as we do see Formy and N9 rotating up here for the support as well, and it could be a full execution here over towards the A-bomb site, only leaving Yazi on the lurk here just outside of B, but there's a 3-man stack here on long, being able to swing in pretty easily to support ZY here.
I don't mind this setup from all gamers, to be honest. Question as to how SV are going to negotiate it, and that will not help. WQ falls to the arm of Bean, who has been so consistent throughout this tournament. That does give Super Valiant pause for thought as well as they slow things down, check out mid. Admittedly, they have a lot of time to play with, but the more opportunities you give Bean, the more dangerous it could have perhaps been. N9 though, well, if you want something done, you're going to have to do it yourself. That's the way that N9 thinks about things, as he looks for a third entry there and inevitably will be shut down by ZQ. Oh my word, ZQ! What have you just done? That's unbelievable.
Amazing shots coming out from ZQ there, leaving me speechless with the shots he was hitting, and all gamers rightfully out in front once again here, thanks to the fancy work there from ZQ on that hold. And that could just be enough to get the momentum on their side to close out this match and take this one into their hands once and for all. N9 and Yazi quickly working their way up for mid-control in this round. It's going to be Formy and WQ falling in line for support as well. Yazi once again playing very safe here outside of B, just holding the control. It's going to be all gamers who now has momentum on their side, and they're just going to play this one very safe and apply pressure.
I mean, it's a 4-1 split from all gamers, so it is something of a different setup. Getting a lot of information because Bean has pushed up on the B bomb side, and they're able to keep the 4 players over here. A rude awakening perhaps for WQ, but he does well to get one. Got to give him credit there. And a very quick read from Super Valiant as they do spot a few players out there and start to head their way over toward B. Onus now want Bean to step up here, but he'll miss the shot. Tries to get the flashbang down. LSN on the rotate, though, helps him out. And Bean also able to connect a shot. Does leave Super Valiant looking weaker here. Emzen, the last alive. And he does manage to capitalize onto LSN and ZQ. Will we see another clutch this time from Super Valiant, such that they desperately need? Things will slow back down, and ZY will hit the shot. That's got to be a heartbreaker for Super Valiant.
A lot of struggles here in the second half for Super Valiant, only putting up 1 round so far since the side switch. They definitely need to find something quickly to get the momentum back in their hands before it's too late. Bean looking for the opening pick once again. We'll see if he can find it here, though. A lot of pressure being applied in mid, but SV, they're just going to back off, reset here, decide where they want to make their last efforts for pushing these final 2 rounds potentially on the board here for AG. If they can take it away, it will be the 3rd place match going their way. N9 be creeping up here A long to group with his team. WQ already in position here. We saw him able to pick up a successful entry frag in the last round, but now more than ever, SV needs a clean round on the board. ZQ, though, already in position, just waiting in the corner here to see if someone will make the mistake of pushing through towards the A bomb site. Here comes the flash out. They're going to be baiting for these positions on the site. Both players playing very, very patiently here, but they still have to connect the shots, and more importantly, Bean needs to get them started off right, but he whiffs the shot. Can't afford to let that happen. SV collapsing. Both defenders go down. Formy gets Bean as well after the trade. And SV have full control of this one. It's going to be LSN, though, forcing his way back in, but nothing's going to come of it. TMQ gets traded out as well, and it's going to be SV picking up a crucial round.
Yeah, Super Valiant moving as a wolf pack there. As a team, as a roster, they can be so dangerous, but you only see flashes of it. That one was a little bit nicer from Super Valiant, so I wonder if they're going to take heart in that kind of a strategy. Admittedly, Bean did miss a couple of shots, and that's not going to happen too often. You can't bank on that as Super Valiant. All gamers again going for the 4-1 split on the defense here, with Bean pushed up aggressively on the B bomb site, allowing for that information gathering to happen. And all gamers, the numbers on A. Expecting something in that direction from Super Valiant.
WQ, though, they have to be careful. He has the bomb in hand. If he takes this risk of pushing A long alone, he could just throw that bomb into the hands of 3 defenders. So hopefully he doesn't make this mistake, and it looks like he will group up with his team, smartly so here, in order to keep control of that bomb, and it's going to be a full push up mid from SV. LSN, though, rotating into position, but Bean nabs one through the smoke. LSN gets the double kill, looking for more. Emzen, though, finally able to trade, but it could be too late as TMQ has already sprung into action to get the trade himself. DabaQ going to be taken down by ZY, and it is now match point on the table, 9-7 in favor of All Gamers.
Big moment here for All Gamers, as they will certainly be marking their best result in CFS for the longest of times, maybe even ever. One round away, as you say, Kyle. So Super Valiant hanging on the precipice, teetering on the precipice of their worst result in the last 4 years. Twice in a row they won. Last year they came third, and now it's looking like a 4th place may well be there for Super Valiant, which for a roster of such pedigree is a disappointing performance. Gamers stands in front of them, 1 round away from taking 3rd place.
AG looking to crown themselves as the new international frontrunners for the Chinese region. We'll see if they can close this one out. But it's going to be N9 who starts things off right. LSN finds one to trade it out. Somehow still alive, but finally will go down. SV now have full control of the site as DabaQ and Formy come in with kills of their own. ZY left in a 1-on-4 situation. Not looking likely to come out on top of this one. It's going to be a push through the smoke or a push into Formy for ZY here to start off this 1v4. He's going to go for the smoke here, but Emzen already spots him on the other side. Formy doing a great job of just playing patiently and peeks out at the right moment to keep things alive for SV. Now just 1 away from taking this one into overtime.
Just trying to bait Formy into a push there, but not able to do so. 1 round away from overtime, though, for Super Valiant. And maybe an overtime can keep them in this, can push them through to a 3rd map. Just waiting for that Super Valiant magic to occur. Bean is not the one pushed up this time. It's actually LSN with the Orb, and N9 shuts him down. That's a great shot. And a real head scratcher now for All Gamers, because they're going to scramble to try and win this round. 4v5 now, and Super Valiant are coming back at them like a freight train.
TMQ needs to be the anchor for his team here on the B bomb side. Otherwise, it could smell defeat here and a potential overtime if SV have a chance to bring this back. But TMQ is actually going to be left alone here. They only leave Yazi, as it's going to be a full rotation coming out from SV back towards the A bomb site. And the pressure will be thrown back to Bean to try and hold on to this bomb site. ZQ starts to get a hunch and rotates over slowly himself. And AG getting tons of time to reposition for this final attack.
Good setup, though, for All Gamers. 3 players on this bomb site. That's about as good as you can hope for. And in fact, they've pushed out. They've pushed aggressively. Super Valiant are going to have to fight for every inch of territory that they get. ZY and ZQ will be playing around the corner behind the smoke, but Yazi will shut down one. A decent trade from ZQ, but that's not good enough. Someone has to double up, and it won't be Bean. TMQ now, alongside ZQ, to try and keep the dream alive for All Gamers of a clean 2-0 over Super Valiant, one of their greatest foes in China. As ZQ will push his way onto the bomb site, but immediately gets shut down, and N9 gets a double. That'll be overtime. All right, into overtime we go. Kyle, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's got it?
I think SV actually has this here. They're going to be on the defenses here, which they seem to have a much better time on after that last round as well, giving them a burst of momentum. This could be exactly what they need to take this into a map 3 situation here. All Gamers, though, not a team they can count out just yet, but SV, you can definitely see a change of pace in them that is very nice.
I agree, and N9 stepping up as well for Super Valiant, and he is such a win condition for the roster as well. If he gets activated, things can be really, really dangerous for All Gamers, as we've seen here on Compound. But even with the solid performances of N9 and WQ, we still find ourselves in overtime, which means that All Gamers are doing just as well as Super Valiant up to this point. So it's kind of hard to draw a line between them. But now, obviously, as you say, All Gamers start out on the attack and exploring the warehouse toward the B side of the map. A little bit of presence in mid as well. This is pretty standard stuff from All Gamers so far.
The one thing not standard, though, is ZY on the AWM. Very uncommon for him to pick up. It's usually LSN or Bean using that weapon here, but ZY maybe just trading it off with Bean, seeing as he does have low HP on the round, could be the decision-making behind that process here. But Emzen getting challenged here very aggressively in mid. Formy, though, catches them off guard, but he can't connect the shots, and AG somehow sneaked their way into the B-bomb site, thanks to LSN picking up the double kill here. ZY finds one as well. It's all on N9, the 1v2. All Gamers looking for the first round of overtime on the board for themselves, but N9, we'll see if he has something to say about that.
He certainly can do it. He's the kind of player with the caliber of play that can turn this 2v1 into something a little bit easier than you'd imagine it would be. No pushing forward, walks right into LSN's crosshair, and quite frankly, LSN has stepped up here in this third place match. Been having a very, very good game. Super Valiant have to find a way to deal with him. Already an attacking round on the board, though, for All Gamers is not a great sign for Super Valiant when you consider the majority of rounds have come on the defensive side during regulation time. I think the attacking side rounds, you're going to place more of a premium on those.
SV as well pushing out very aggressively here in this round, all the way up towards the back of mid here. Meanwhile, AG has no real map control to work with here. They're just stuck and isolated over towards mid and A long, but there's one player lurking in the shadows here. It is going to be LSN slowly creeping his way in to try and check things out here over towards the B-bomb side. There's 3 players, though, still pushed up aggressively. Bean now going to be working his way in for the support as well, but they need to be careful here. SV is set up to try and shut this down perfectly. Yazi already finds one. This is where the trap has been set to perfection here from SV, and now they hold on to the advantage.
This is where Super Valiant found success on their defense during regulation time. Those aggressive pushes making map control difficult to take for All Gamers. N9 will also punish TMQ, and that means now 2-player advantage for Super Valiant and a huge amount of map control that AG just doesn't have, which you ordinarily would on the attacking side. So a lot of work to do for All Gamers here, but if they read the situation correctly, maybe they make their way back over toward the A bomb site where there is only one defender. That could well be a problem, actually, for Super Valiant. If you see Super Valiant rotate late, if Emzen falls, All Gamers get a free bomb plant down, a 3v4, probably holdable.
CQ's actually already snuck his way over here towards the A bomb site all by himself, but Emzen playing very patiently himself on the back of site. We'll see if he can find a way to hold on here. If Emzen just gets this one frag, it may be enough to stall for the rotation here, but he has to come up big for his team on this one. ZQ going to be spotted out, but Emzen's position compromised. It's not going to matter, though. Formy already rotates in. Bean finds one, but it's still a 2v4. Emzen finds one, make it a double kill. That'll be a clean way to bring this one to a tie. Once again, the back and forth continues, but SV in a much more difficult position as they've yet to put a map up on the board here.
Yeah, certainly. They're playing for their lives at CFS 2019. All Gamers have that luxury, at least, of being able to go back to port if need be. This time a little bit more reserved from Super Valiant. And as a result, All Gamers are able to take control of the map a little easier. Better early signs for AG.
Bean still looking for an opening pick. Yazi pushed pretty aggressively here as well, just outside of B. C4 in Bean's control, though, looking to get this opening for his team. Yazi starting to push through, spots LSN, takes him down, and grabs the early advantage here for SV. Now it's all about the rotations and the response here from All Gamers. They need to try and find some sort of opening in this round very quickly. Otherwise, it could be another round on the board for SV here.
Doesn't really seem as though AG have committed to either side of the map just yet. They're content with the mid control that they've established and leaving Bean to do what he does best, look for picks. As of yet, not finding any. No opportunities have presented themselves, though. This is where push is going to have to come to shove, though, for AG. 1 minute left on the clock. Going to have to start moving. Make their way into the A side, or at least they're going to attempt to. A flashbang is going to push them back into mid, and they'll start to make their way now toward B.
Amazon in the key position, though,
Look,
to stall
Yazi.
this one out. Yazi behind, sneaks up on Bean. What a way to get this one started here for SV, and it's going to be ZY. Will be traded out as well. ZQ goes down, and Yazi being the key factor in this round for SV. And that is going to put them in a great position now going into the second half of overtime. Definitely some good potential for them to take this one into a map 3.
Still asking for 2 rounds, though, on the attacking side from Super Valiant, and I'm not sure that I'm so confident in saying that that is going to be an easy task for them. I think they're still going to be made to work for this. Particularly if Bean and LSN can get things going, moving on to the defense here. We saw how solid Bean was over toward the B side of the map in getting information for all gamers. LSN takes that secondary sniper, maybe into mid, maybe over to the A site. And you have a formidable looking defensive setup. Let's see how it pans out, though. All gamers will at least want to make sure that they pick the first round up so that their backs are not against the wall for the remaining 2 of the half here.
Already, it's going to be Emzen going down. I'm not sure how he died, though. I'm wondering if he maybe, yeah, he fell through the map, it looks like.
No way.
That is quite the unfortunate way for the tables to be turned here. And now AG, they've been handed a golden opportunity to tie this one up and do something incredible here. Not sure what happened. Maybe we'll see a replay of that, but still things looking good for AG as they have the early advantage now. And it is going to be a chance to tie it up once again, and we'll see if they can make it happen. But the question I have now, Jordan, is do we see the first golden round potentially of the tournament here?
I mean, I feel like, you know, let's get at least one, right? And this would probably be a pretty good opportunity for it. What you want to make sure of, though, as AG is that you don't want to be losing this round, right? You've got a 4v5. You've been given a little bit of a freebie. And they want to make sure that they lock this one down. Otherwise, the tilt factor is going to be probably too much to come back from. I don't think you get those next 2 rounds if they lose this one.
I agree with you there. It's going to be the opportunity that AG needs to hold on to. We'll see if they can do so. N9 and Formy creeping their way up slowly towards B. AG has to be careful on this one. Formy looking for that support from N9 on the entry. TMQ, though, holds it off nicely. LSN still not even giving up his position, but they have the bomb as well. And this could be it for AG to tie it up. 5-on-1. Dalbaku just trying to sneak his way up mid. Surely not. He finds one, but that will be it. ZY trades it out immediately, and the gifted round of somehow Emzen's death finds its way to close out for AG. And just 2 rounds left in overtime now.
Super clean from TMQ, though, so good signs for all gamers. They're hitting their shots still, and they're definitely not out of this one either. Super Valiant, it has indeed been a valiant effort to come bring this back to overtime, but how much more heartbreaking it would be if they were to lose in the overtime. All gamers proving to be a very strong opponent. A faster play, though, from Super Valiant this time, and all gamers, they do look prepared for it. TMQ will play aggressively, though, and that's going to get the better of him. LSN only able to trade one down, and the numbers certainly are there for Super Valiant, but ZY is holding on to the bomb site, trying to keep this one alive for all gamers. Can't manage too much, though. Doesn't survive too long, but at least the rotation comes back across. And Bean tasked with a 2v1, waiting for a mistake from one of the Super Valiant players to give him that all-important pick.
The bomb finally going down here for SV. Bean going to try and grab this AK to make the clutch a little bit easier on himself in these close quarters. And 9 already on half HP as well. The nice pop flash over the top, but there's both players here on the left-hand corner for Bean. He has to be extremely cautious as he goes in, and he's just not ready for it here. Formy takes him down. It's going to be SV on top as we go into the final round of overtime. It is golden round or bust for AG.
Yeah, SV on map point, though. That could put us through to port. Who knows what happens there? Maybe a rampaging SV comes back into this series when it looked like all hope was lost, quite frankly. Losing 10-5 on Black Widow, not a good early sign. But Super Valiant certainly showing that mental fortitude to come back into it. The question is now whether or not they can capitalize on this advantage. This is the first match point that they've had. Hopefully for them, they can convert it into a map.
All gamers looking to tie this one up. They haven't had a whole lot of success in overtime on their defensive half so far. We'll see what they can do to turn things around and take us into the golden round scenario. And it would be a $40,000 golden round for all gamers if they're able to push us there. But we'll see if we can get there first. SV doing a great job here on Compound of turning things around. They had so many struggles in map 1 that it's been incredible to see the night and day differences here on the second map of the series. AG, though, they've got to be careful. Bean not even taking the shot there, wants to reposition and go for the repeat here. N9, though, just toying with him on this angle. He knows Bean is going to be holding it here, just barely sticking out. It's going to be all gamers, though, hoping that Bean can open up the round for them here, as it's going to be a 5-on-5 duel over towards the A-bomb site, and the flashes come down. N9 still just toying with Bean in this position, but it's actually ZY who gets challenged. SV storms their way through, but it's ZY who gets almost the double kill, finally secures it. Bean gets the kill, holds on just enough to be traded down by Yazi and make this one a 3-on-2. It's all on to N9 and Formy. They're going to try and keep it alive here. N9 goes down, and AG take us to the first golden round of CFS 2019. And they keep the dream alive of taking this one in a 2-0 sweep.
Oh, well, what a game we have on our hands here. Little did we expect Compound was going to deliver something like this. And at first it was Super Valiant that were the ones that had to fight back from a deficit. Then it was all gamers, and neither team prepared to give up their control of Compound just yet. But it is going to come down to, like you say, that golden round. The golden round will have all gamers on the defense. So Super Valiant might not be too pleased to see that, but I guess when you would have asked them when they were down 9-7 if they would have liked to have gone to golden round, they would have said yes. One round all we're looking for here, and all gamers with a 3-2 split to start things off.
SV, they're going for the no fear push. It's going to be all 4 players on the attack towards this A-bomb site, just leaving Emzen in middle alone to try and work this one out. But all gamers, they've set up for this pretty nicely here. 3 players defending the A-bomb site, 2 playing a bit forward over towards B. Emzen just looking for that information as the rest of his team starts to creep their way in over towards A. It's all down to the wire to decide who will walk away with a single round to decide their fate.
Be playing toward the A-bomb side here for Super Valiant. They're mirroring exactly what happened in the last round, but now Bean hits the shot. Bad news, of course, for Super Valiant as they have to play the rest out. 4v5. And that forces them away back into mid. They've changed their idea. They've gone back to plan B.
LSN creeping through the smoke here. This could be enough to catch Emzen off guard. Goes in for it, finds one, looks for the double, secures the double kill. It's all down to Yazi now, 1v4. All gamers, could they do this in the golden round? Yazi looking for the miracle here to turn this around, but it's not going to happen. All gamers take it in a golden round, 2-0, and will walk away with that 3rd place prize, taking down Super Valiant.
It's been